Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fantasy Tip Show, Game Week 27 review and a preview to Game Week 28. As usual, I'm back with probably the best FPL people on the whole of Twitter and YouTube. Ben, how are you?
I've been better. I'm not gonna lie, FPL wise, I've been better, but yeah, I'm good. Other than that,
awesome. And obviously, Josh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Coasted through this week pretty easily. Looking forward to the next.
Awesome. Now, I say these are the top people in FPL, and it's not every time you get people outshining the FPL graduates. It's not every day you get people outshining the FPL graduates, but I have one person who probably will outshine the FPL graduates once in a while, and her name is Kendall, the biggest Newcastle fan in the world. How are you, Kendall?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Thank you for coming on. I've tried to get you on here a lot of times, but maybe she's not doing that well in her FPL. Yeah, maybe she was not doing that well in her FPL, so she was trying to take her time. So I'm happy to have you on.
I just course. I don't even pay that much attention to it. I always forget to change it, and I always forget to do stuff to it. But it's not too bad considering.
I can't blame you. I saw your survey today, Josh. It was a tough one. Some really tough questions, but I can tell you something for sure. I never forget about FPL. I check it 4 times a day. So we'll be reviewing Game Week 28, Game Week 28, 27, and previewing Game Week 28. We'll start with Josh's team. So, Josh, your team for Game Week 27, take us through.
Yeah, so 84 points, not too shabby considering on Sunday I had 70 points, and I think I was up to 500k in the world, which is really good. But yeah, the City game and then obviously the Leeds West Ham game really sort of muddied that sort of rank. But in goal, Emi Martinez, he got robbed of bonus points and a save point, which is quite annoying, but still he's ever reliant in goal, and I think he's the 5th highest scoring FPL player in the whole game this season, which is kind of crazy. Kept Luke Shaw in the squad. I didn't expect a goal, I expected a clean sheet, and I got both, which was ace, so 14 points for him with a 3 bonus. Ben White disappointing with Brighton. Cancelo a 1-pointer in a double game week. He's not the asset to own right now. City have conceded in all of their last 4 games, so maybe that defence isn't as strong as we first thought. Bruno Fernandes to the penalty again. Loads of people benching those Man United assets this week. I knew that we'd go over and probably not doom too much. I weren't expecting to win 2-0, don't get me wrong, but I thought a clean sheet was definitely there for the taking, and that's what we got. Bernardo Silva, he'll be coming out this week. Hasn't really produced the numbers I expected him to. Seems like Mahrez really has took that sort of position, and Mahrez's stats have been absolutely unreal the last 6 game weeks. Aubameyang captain. I backed it on the Friday. Initially, I was very happy with it. He probably should have had that penalty as well. I'm sure we'll discuss about that later. So he could have been on some more points, but I'm happy with that captaincy return. Gundogan, 10 points, actually hurts me because the guy's owned by too many people, so not ideal, but nice to see him ticking over. Rafinha and Bamford both blank. Leeds look terrible right now, lost 4 of their last 5, so they don't look great right now. And then Harry Kane, what a performance he had, 4 goal contributions in that game. Areola on the bench, El Mohammadi on the bench, 8 pointers there. So a good week, realistically, and I think I climbed about 130k, so not too shabby.
Great team, to be fair. Are you thinking about captaining Kane at any stage?
Yeah, so it was either between Gundogan and Kane, and then when I brought Alba in, I switched it from Kane to Aubameyang, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I don't know if I weren't too sure because obviously Spurs only won 1-0 against Fulham, so it sort of put me off the idea a bit. But great performance from Spurs.
Awesome. Let's bring Ben's team next.
Oh dear, 61 points is not ideal, is it, Glenn? It's not up yet, is it? Oh, there you go. There we go.
Yep. It is now, yeah.
It's a case really for me of wrong captaincy choice. I think if I pick the right captain, I'd probably be on similar sort of points to Josh this week. I went with Areola in goal over McCarthy, who had a double, because I thought McCarthy was not going to play either of the games. So I'm glad I put Areola in 8 points start the week off there nicely. But yeah, Diaz 4-pointer. I knew Diaz was going to play both the games because I wasn't quite sure over like Gundogan, I didn't think would play both games. Cancelo, I knew wouldn't play both games. So I went with the safe option, and it's just massively backfired. I think I could have picked any of my other sort of players who I was thinking about captaining, and they would have done all right. Cresswell, 12-pointer. Now it was stressful trying to get through that West Ham game with the amount of sitters that, you know, Bamford was missing. And I know what you're saying, Ben. You were right about him. Thank you. I'll take the applause later. But yeah, Cresswell with an assist. Can't ask too much more of him. And then Target, left back. Yeah, 6-pointer, covers Martinez, doesn't he? And then in midfield, Gundogan, jammy 10-pointer. Doesn't help my rank really because everyone has him. Bruno, 10-pointer. I mean, I was thinking about like having him on my bench this week, but glad I didn't in the end. Son, 5-pointer. Can't say too much about that. And the disappointment up top, Danny Ings. I genuinely believe if he didn't pull up injured, he probably would have scored 2 goals in that Sheffield United game. But, you know, it's the luck of the draw. And we're going to move on to next week. We're planning on into 29, having a full 11, hopefully, for the blank game week.
What were you expecting from the Diaz captaincy?
I was expecting 2 clean sheets, is what I was expecting. And I wasn't expecting goals to fly in that Man United game. I was expecting a 1-0 or a 0-0 and Diaz to pick up at least 1 or 2 bonus. So I was thinking the ceiling for that could have been minimum 12 points, and then I could have got 2-3 on the bonus side of it. But wasn't to be. My other choice probably would have been Gundogan because they're double game week players. So taking a bit of an L on that one, but you know, the team is set up nicely for the next couple of weeks anyway. So I'm not going to try to stress about it too much. I've just got to now try and be a bit more differential and a bit more, a bit stranger in terms of the picks that I'm having compared to previous weeks because I've got ground now to make up. Yeah,
you really do sound like a mental patient trying to explain the reasons.
Yeah,
I was just trying to check if you're doing okay. We'll come to Kendall's team next. I'll just do mine as she gets hers ready. I'll have it on screen, Kendall, so you can just get us through your team. So for me, very disappointing in terms of, oh my goodness. The keeper, definitely, I'm really happy with Areola. I hope it's on screen right now.
Yeah.
So Areola in goal, I was happy with, definitely 8 points. A clean sheet against Liverpool, I'll definitely take that. At Anfield, I'll definitely take that. My back four, Kufal. There's a time now, like I was hoping for either Kufal and Cooper for 0-0 in that West Ham Leeds game, but yeah, I was happy with Kufal getting 6 points. Stones, Pep Roulette, not a good game to play. Cooper, definitely 1 point. Could have had a goal from a corner. Saka, really, really disappointing. I'm telling you guys, that Arsenal-Burnley game should have been 4 or 5 goals. Saka and Aubameyang missing a couple of chances, Pepe as well. Son and Kane, masterclass against Crystal Palace. I was so disappointed that I switched my captaincy from Kane to Sterling. I think it was Saturday morning because I was so scared of the double game week. Fernandes getting a dodgy penalty as well. Josh, Manchester United, things as usual. Richarlison up front, didn't expect anything against Chelsea. And Bamford, as Ben took the credit already, missed a lot of chances, man. But so many people have Bamford in their teams, and not many have Kufal. So I was kind of hoping he misses those chances so that they can get the Kufal clean sheet anyway. And then Shaw on the bench, I saw Kendall has him in the team. I think Josh has him in the team. Very, very disappointing. I didn't know he'd score against City. Let's be serious. Like, score and keep a clean sheet and then get taken off. He was very, very lucky. So 14 points, that could have been the difference this week. But yeah, I benched him, unfortunately. So I think that's 59 points. So I'll definitely take it for now. I'll definitely take it, no problem. So 59. Yeah. Any questions, Josh, from that?
No, it's just obviously your captaincy's let you down. And a few misfires. Like Saka did look really dangerous in that game against Burnley. And I think they were unlucky not to win the game, especially the penalty and everything. So yeah, just a few decisions to make in the future. Yeah,
then Kendall, you're next. Your team will be on screen right now. You said you didn't make any changes this week. That's fine, but it still looks like a good team anyway.
Yeah, and I always forget to make changes. Like listening to you lot chat about it, I'm like, I actually genuinely don't know what I'm doing. No, like I'm actually not joking. Like I actually don't. This is the first season I've ever done FPL. So like I am just learning as I go. So I really don't know what I'm doing. Obviously St. Maximin, I didn't sub out because I forgot to change my team. Just my whole bench is currently injured at this point. So yeah, it's not looking great. I forget to do stuff, use my free hits too early, and then just ruins my life. So I mean, I'm doing all right considering I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good, I think. Josh, clearly very many injuries. I obviously can't blame her for having Wilson and St. Maximin. So, Josh, anything she needs to change from that?
I think the basis of the team is actually pretty solid going forward. Lingard's only not there because he's facing Man United next week. So yeah, I'd only say Justin and Wilson just because they're both out for a long time. Not sure about St. Maximin, and then you'll be pretty sweet going forward.
Ben, any changes it'd make to that team?
Yeah, I mean, it actually does look like a very solid team. Like a lot of the players have been the best sort of performing players this season. I mean, I'm looking at it now. In game week 29, you have 5 players at the moment, so maybe look to get a couple more that are playing in that game week.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's okay. Just Justin, like I think, he was very good for all of you. Like at the beginning of the season, I think he needs to go out.
Yeah.
Maybe for, I don't know, a defender from which team? I guess we'll discuss that soon. But yeah, solid team. I think you had more than 60 points.
Yeah, I think it's
I had
64.
more than 60 points.
I mean, that's better than what I have, and I have a full team.
I've got 66 apparently.
That's this is my 5th season.
I'll take that considering I don't know what I'm doing normally. So yeah, I think the most I've ever had is 90.
That's not bad for first.
Oh, that was last game week. I had 90 points.
Balling. That's all I can say. Balling. I had 11 players, and I didn't have 61 points. So I guess you're still doing good for your first season. So Ben, I'll bring up the fixtures next. Ben will get us through the fixtures for the next game week.
Yeah, so a few fixtures in there. So we start the game week, Newcastle against Aston Villa. That'll be a big one for a lot of Emi Martinez owners, I know that for sure. Saturday, Leeds against Chelsea, Palace West Brom, Everton Burnley, and then finishing up with Fulham Man City. Sunday, Southampton Brighton, Leicester Sheffield United, Arsenal Spurs, Man United West Ham, and then we're finishing on the Monday with Wolves against Liverpool. So definitely a shorter game week this week, and less fixtures.
Yeah, so they will be scrolling down the bottom right now. So I'll start with you, Josh. Which fixture are you looking forward to most? Just one.
Yeah, it's nice there's only one fixture for this week because there's obviously been so many doubles as of late. For me, I'm going to look forward to probably United West Ham. I think that's going to be a really good game. See who comes out on top. West Ham have been flying this season, still in top 4. United, I think, probably take that game with a win. Probably a bit biased, but that's how it is.
Fixtures aren't on the screen, by the way. Sorry about that. We'll just bring them up as we go by. Kendall, I'll go to you next. Which fixture are you looking forward to most as an FPL manager?
I was going to say, not mine. Not Newcastle's fixtures, because, it's peak out here. I don't really know because I don't really know where the points are going to come from because the fixtures are so the fixture list is shorter this week, and obviously I really don't know. I have a few of a couple of players from different teams. Like I have 3 Man City players in there. I think I've put Kane in this week, possibly. I can't remember if I'm honest. So it'll be very interesting to see where the points come from this week because the form has been so weird. You can't really guess a result this season, I don't think. Apart from possibly Man City. But, I mean, even we saw them in their game against Southampton. Didn't start off too great. So, yeah, I'll be very interested. I don't know which one I'm looking forward to the most, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens this week.
Mine will probably be Fulham and City now. I've captained Sterling for, I think, 4 of the last 5 game weeks, and he's disappointed me in each of them. Literally, he's on the pitch, they score 5 goals, and he doesn't get even an assist. Today, they score 5 goals, he's not on the pitch. Surely, he'll definitely start against Fulham. He didn't play today. Fulham have been okay. Kendall will know a lot about Fulham being okay recently. So
Thanks.
for me, I'll probably go for City against Fulham, and then go for Sterling and Jesus in that game. Didn't play today; they'll definitely start in that one. And then Aguero came on today, and within 5 minutes he looked injured again. So Jesus will start again probably. So I'm gonna go for that fixture, Ben.
I'm pretty sure, 100% sure for me that I'm going to start Areola in goal for my team. I think Fulham have been very underrated, and only just now is everyone coming out and saying, "Oh, look, they do look really good defensively." I think if you own a Leicester player going forward that's actually fit, that's also a bonus. But in terms of the fixtures, this game week's quite a tough one to predict. We know the referee in the Arsenal Spurs game has given like a penalty at almost every other game that he's ref this season, so could see a potential penalty in there.
No,
yeah, it's a tough.
Not for Arsenal. Arsenal agenda. He'll give Kendall.
Yeah, well, I'll transfer him in then, Glenn, and we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how Leeds and Chelsea plays out as well, because we know how strong defensively Chelsea have been since Tuchel's come in, and Leeds play that style of play that's going to put any defence under pressure. So yeah, I'd keep an eye out on those couple of fixtures.
Awesome. Any additions, Josh, that have not been mentioned?
Yeah, I think that after looking through them, I think Leeds Chelsea screams goals. Although Chelsea have been a bit better defensively under Tuchel, I don't think they've played a team like Leeds yet. Although they face Liverpool not really in the greatest of form. Leeds will just throw everything at them, and I don't know if the defenders that they actually have right now are going to be able to cope with that. Obviously, they played quite well so far, but we all know that there's a mistake in the likes of Zuma, the likes of Rudiger, the likes of Christensen. So that'll be an interesting game to keep an eye on. For me, I've benched my Leeds assets right now. It'll be an interesting decision going forward whether I continue that decision.
Awesome. So the next topic is the FPL focus. It happens to be Arsenal. I'm sorry, guys. We've done 16 different teams, and there are only 4 teams remaining. And I looked at the Arsenal fixtures coming up after the Liverpool and Tottenham games, and there's I don't know if you're playing, I think, Fulham or something, or Sheffield as well. So we have to do Arsenal today. We've not done a team like Sheffield, and I don't think we can do it right now anyway. So yeah, and the FPL focuses on Arsenal this week. So Kendall, what we usually do is I put 5 different players on screen, and then you basically tell me if they're a good option to own, yes or no. Probably for the hate that Josh and Ben have for Arsenal, I can't really blame them. So yeah, I'll start with the first one. That is Kieran Tierney. So Kendall, do you think Tierney is a good option to own going forward?
Well, I had Tierney in my team for a good few weeks, just before the middle of the season. And then I took him out because he just wasn't. It was like when Arsenal went through a little bit of a bad run of form again. So
Thanks.
I took him out. I took him out. I act like I know what I'm doing, but really I don't. I just see points and I go off average form, and I'm like, oh, that's crap, I'll just take him out. So I always just do that.
Yeah.
But for me, I think if there's probably better players you could really get in there if that's what you're wanting to do.
Okay, Ben, Tierney.
I'm kind of on the same boat. It's 5.2 million for a defender who hasn't returned since game week 19. So that's something you've got to consider. I think if Arsenal get in a good bit of form, everything's going to come through him. But with his injury concerns, Arsenal have got Tottenham, West Ham, and Liverpool in the next 3. So I'd probably try and avoid a premium defender from Arsenal. I know it's probably not what you want to hear, Glenn, is it?
Why even bother asking you? Josh, Arsenal.
Yeah, Tierney's an interesting one. I think going forward, he's great, but it just depends whether he's fit. Obviously, there's a lot of question marks around him. Arsenal are not really keeping too many clean sheets, and that's due to their own fault, really. They seem to be making a lot of mistakes, and rather than just leaking goals. So if they can maybe fix up and stop making so many mistakes, he might become a bit more interesting, because I think 5.2 million is quite cheap for a player of his quality. For right now, especially with the fixtures, as Ben mentioned, I probably would stay clear of him.
So surprisingly, I do agree with you guys on this one. I feel like since we have the Europa League games and stuff like that, I feel like he'll be rested for a couple of Premier League games. And even if he plays, it's Liverpool, West Ham, Tottenham. I don't expect clean sheets in those games. And feisty derby, a yellow card incoming probably on the same wing with the likes of Lamela. So yeah, Tierney for now. No, he was really good in my team when he scored the goal and got an assist and I think a clean sheet against West Brom. And I lost the plot the moment he got injured, but I got Shaw. So I think Shaw will do the job. I think he's injured as well. So anyway, the next one, Kendall, I'll start with you again. Aubameyang.
Well, yeah, he's picked up form lately. He's getting a couple of goals in there. I would probably, if I had another transfer, he would be an option to me because I've got like Antonio and Watkins up front at the moment, who when I had them in the team, they were on form, and now the goals are coming from different places in Villa's team now, and West Ham as well. So yeah, I think if he stays on form, but again, it's the game this weekend is just so hard to judge because like Spurs and Arsenal have both had their problems. They've both had their decent runs of form. I mean, there was talks at the beginning of the season of, Tottenham winning the league, which was like wild. When you look back now, it was crazy. But yeah, I think I think it wouldn't be a terrible option. But as I say, the game is so dodgy this weekend. Just don't know what's going to happen.
Tottenham winning the league. Any other jokes for today, Kendall? You have any other good jokes for today? Josh, Aubameyang.
Look, at the beginning of the season, it was like Everton, Tottenham were up there. Like, I mean, to be fair, for like a week, Newcastle was like second. So I was like, I'll take that. Just end the season now. You know what I mean?
I think that is more realistic than Tottenham winning rather than Newcastle. At least Newcastle have been up there over the years. Josh, Aubameyang, surely this time. You captained him, you have him, right?
Yeah, I do have him. And I think currently he's probably a must-have asset looking at Game Week 29 particularly. Obviously, not many teams playing. I think there's only 4 matches that game week. So he's probably one of the biggest players playing in that game week. He's facing the West Ham side that week, who I think, although have been decent defensively, Arsenal can get at, and there are holes in that defence despite them keeping a few clean sheets. And also the Spurs game, like, what would you not back Aubameyang to score? I think he's a good option in that game too, with Spurs' leaky defence. So yeah, I think he's a good option to have, and he's very differential at the minute. I think he's only around, like, he's below 10%. So definitely, he proved it this week for me. He gets some points.
Yeah, that's the other reason we did Arsenal today, because I think in Game Week 29 there are only 8 teams playing, and we are one of them. Ben, Aubameyang.
Yeah, I think I agree with Josh. In terms of a differential pick for 29, you can't get much better than that. If you kind of doubt that that Spurs are going to do the business, then Aubameyang's the clear one to go for. I think he still needs to pick up a bit more consistency this season to be a viable one over the long term. But in the short term, I don't see why not take a punt on him, see what happens, because Josh did it, came out with a goal and should have been really too with the penalty claim. But yeah, I don't see why not, considering some of the other premium assets not really performing as well as we expected.
Yeah, still can't believe that was not a penalty. It just shows you what I was talking about, the agenda. So I agree with Aubameyang, definitely, yes. And then finally, a player. I've done so many shows with you guys before, and I know this is one player you definitely like. So Kendall, Saka.
Oh, I love Saka. Absolutely love him. I really do love him. Like, I just think he's phenomenal. And, at the beginning of the season when Arsenal were going through their troubles and, obviously away from FPL for a minute, like, everyone was complaining, saying, Arsenal fans shouldn't put the world on a 19-year-old's shoulders, but he's proved he can handle it. I'm really not happy you've used that picture, by the way. He's proved he can handle it. I've just realised. He's proved he can handle it. He's proved
Newcastle. That was not planned, by the way.
Cope under the pressure. And yeah, I just think he's great. I think he's probably pretty much weekly is guaranteed to get some points, whether or not it's high or not. But a lot of the creativity of Arsenal comes through him and stuff like that. So I think, he's a great addition, definitely.
For me, surprisingly, again, I'd actually go for no, because he's going to be rested for a couple of Premier League games because of the Europa League. But for Game Week 29, where there are only 8 teams playing, probably yes. Josh?
Yeah, I think he's one of the best options under 6 million in midfield. The question is, it's been so wasteful. I've watched a few of Arsenal's games recently, especially the Burnley game, for example. He's had the chances, just hasn't taken them, which is really frustrating. Obviously, players around him also not taking their chances. Like Pepe, we saw, probably could have had 2 goals in that game, but missing chances. So it's another one of those situations where Arsenal just need to make these corrections, and they'll probably be within a chance of pushing up the table.
Yeah, you're very right. I've tried telling Arsenal fans that the last few weeks, but since Saka's done very well, you're not allowed to say that around this part. Ben, Saka, he's missed a lot of chances. Aubameyang should have had more points from Josh the last week.
I don't think that's down to the quality of the player. I think he's played so much this season that, you know, he's gonna be a bit wasteful, and he's gonna be potentially a bit leggy. I know in recent weeks he probably hasn't returned as much as you'd expect him to, but if he does get the rest and Arteta does give him a bit of time to recover between games, I see no reason why you wouldn't want to bring him in. 5.3 million for a player that good and so far forward in that Arsenal team, and he's very influential in that team. So definitely as a midfield enabler to like open up that team to other premium assets, I'd look to do that.
Yeah, it's not every day you hear Newcastle, Reading, and United fans complimenting an Arsenal player. So make sure you drop a like, and the Twitter handles, and that's scrolling down the bottom. Go follow Kendall and FPL Gadgets on Twitter. Then the fourth one, I'll start with you, Josh. Leno, is he a good set and forget keeper for now till the end of the season?
It's an interesting one because he's quite cheap. I'm not sure around his price. I think it's like 5.1 million. But you saw at the weekend, mistake prone is Bernd Leno. I think he's been given a lot more praise than probably what he's deserved, just because of Arsenal's keepers probably over the years. I think it was his fault for the goal against Burnley more than Xhaka's. I don't know why he's playing that ball to Xhaka in the first place. Wow. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think there's way better keepers. You've got the likes of Emi Martinez, who's probably the same price, and he's just been remarkable this season. For what reason you sold him, I will never know.
I still don't know as well. Ben, Leno?
I just got a laugh. Leno. I mean, I said last year that Emi Martinez is going to be the best keeper in the Premier League. I said it when he returned to Arsenal. If they get rid of him, they're going to massively regret it. Everyone laughed at me. Everyone said, he's not going to be the best keeper in the league. I can put my fist on the table and say, look, he's the best keeper in the league. And Leno, I wouldn't even consider him as like a backup keeper, to be honest with you, in my FPL team.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, deadly. 5 million. Just doesn't appeal to me.
I do feel like he's a very good shot stopper, though.
Yeah, he gets save points. I agree with you there, but I just don't trust the Arsenal defense. I'm sorry.
He somehow got 2 bonus at the weekend. Don't know how he got that. Maybe for the assist for the goal or something. I'm not sure.
A lot of for sure, I do agree with you guys in terms of Martinez being I think on the same level, Josh. I think on the same level. I think Martinez, I don't know, he usually makes some crazy saves. I know everywhere, like in the last game week. I don't know. Let's hear from Kendall. What do you make of Leno, and would you have him in your FPL team? And do you think we made a big mistake in selling Martinez?
Yeah, 100%. I think that was probably the start of the issues, really, because he could look at what he's done for Aston Villa, this season. Like, he's been consistent every week. Like, I've barely seen him have a bad week. And obviously, with the way Arsenal's defence are at the moment and the way that Arsenal have been playing lately, Leno probably wouldn't be a great option because, as everybody else has said, there's other keepers that you could get for less around the same price who probably are better, like points wise. So I feel like it wouldn't be ideal to put him in there as, the main keeper, really.
Now, for Leno, I do feel like in terms of shot stopping, I think he's in the top 3 with Dallo from Newcastle and De Gea in terms of shot stopping. I know Alisson and Ederson are better in terms of overall, but I think in terms of shot stopping, you can't beat those 3. But yeah, this was me when you guys were talking about Leno. I was just like, oh, what the hell? Here we go again. It's talking. Anyway,
do you rate him? Do you like him?
Yeah, I do. I do feel like he's not the biggest problem we have at Arsenal. Like,
no, not by any means. Yeah.
The best goalkeeper we've had the last 15 years. So the next one, Josh, Lacazette.
I'll probably stay clear of him just because of his price and like his rotation risk. You don't really see him start all the time. We've seen Aubameyang move up front now for Arsenal, so I think Aubameyang's way better suited to starting up top. I think you've seen throughout his career that's where he's got his goals. Lacazette will fall out of the team due to that. I think he came on against Burnley and played almost an attacking midfield kind of role. I think he's quite expensive for that sort of price. I think if you look at like Mason Mount, who's 7 million, he's been in great form recently, and I think he's probably a better pick than Lacazette.
Okay, Kendall, Lacazette.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think the danger is that he is not going to be a consistent starter all of the time, and he's not going to get a lot of game time. In terms of the likes of Saka and Aubameyang, who, if you want to choose Arsenal players in your team, I think that's where the danger is going to be there. Whether or not he's destined for goals, or it's not really set in stone at this point. So yeah, I would probably steer clear as well.
Okay, Ben, Lacazette, anything to add on him?
Not too much, to be honest. The last time he played a full 90 was against Man United in game week 21. So yeah, just agreeing with what everyone said. Very expensive for a player that's not guaranteed to start.
Okay, so last question on Arsenal. Josh, game week 29, 8 teams playing. How many Arsenal players will you have?
Definitely one with Aubameyang. Unsure as of yet. I think depending on what happens in that North London derby will make me swing maybe towards an Arsenal player. But I think the only other one that I'd really consider is probably Saka because of his price.
Kendall, how many will you have? Only 4 games in game week 29.
Yeah, I don't think I have any in currently. So obviously, as Josh says, if the North London derby goes well, or you see some form there and you see, some improvement, then fair enough. I think you could probably transfer. Well, obviously I'll only have one free transfer, so that's fine unless I take a point hit. But yeah, probably some in there. I would definitely take Aubameyang, and obviously agreeing on the fact of possibly Saka, just for the fact that he's not a costly player to have, and he's probably is guaranteed points at least weekly. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have your wild card?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll tell you why. Because when they renewed again, it was when I had like 3 Leicester players in there, and it was when like they all got injured, and I had like Liverpool players in there got injured, and I had to change it because my bench was completely injury, like all injured, and then I had like 3 or 4 first team that was all injured at one time, so it was just like really bad, and I had to use it literally within like 2 weeks, so it was just so trash.
I've been there. I know someone who still has a couple of his chips. Ben, how many Arsenal players will you have?
I'm probably a maximum of 1 if I do have one. I'm probably like you all said, look at the North London derby and see who I like the look of from there. The only 2 I'll probably be considering is Aubameyang and Saka, and I'll have a wait and see, but I'm not confident that I'm actually going to have any come game week 29.
Absolutely no shame in saying that when he's on a national channel. Look at those players on screen. So many players to choose from. He says literally just Aubameyang, and with a brave face as well. Shame on you, Ben. Shame on you.
Well, I'm definitely not going Granit Xhaka.
I mean, it's a good differential for that trick. Good differential. I knew this was going to be a hard one to go through. Yeah, it kind of reminds me the day we did Brighton and those kind of teams. But yeah, 2 more topics to go through. Captain picks for game week 28. I'll start with you, Ben. Which players are you considering to captain this game?
So I am considering Harry Kane as one of my captaincy picks. I'm just waiting on doing the transfer because they've obviously got Europa League, haven't they? So holding off on that. In terms of other players that I'm looking at, I'm definitely looking at Bruno Fernandes again for my captaincy pick. West Ham at home. We know what Bruno's like. He can do.
You can get a penalty from anywhere.
I think this is it's a difficult one because there's no good fixtures. There just isn't any good fixtures this week. So
yeah, you're actually very right. Kendall, who are you captaining in your team, and any player that you don't own that you'd captain?
Well, I think that I've had Gundogan as captain for about the past 3 weeks, and it hasn't turned out too bad. So maybe I'll just stay there. I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to stuff like that. So, and they've got Fulham. So I don't know. So I'll probably just keep him there. But as obviously Ben said about Kane, yeah, I'm probably going to transfer Kane in, depending. So yeah.
So Josh, Kendall is captaining Gundogan. Ben is looking at Bruno and Kane. Who are you looking at?
Yeah, I think the City assets are interesting ones because obviously Ben mentioned about Fulham being really well defensively. I don't think City are as bad as Liverpool going forward right now, so I think there will be goals in that game. For me, the three I've considered Kane and Bruno, as Ben mentioned. I think they've got probably Kane's track record against Arsenal speaks for itself, so he's an obvious shout. Bruno Fernandes will unlock the door against West Ham. I think he's also on penalties. Like we saw in the Manchester derby, he comes away with 10 points just from scoring a penalty and not really doing too much else in that game. And the third one that I've done is going to be quite controversial. It's Emi Martinez against Newcastle. Obviously, Newcastle have so many injuries up front. I think you'd agree with me, to be fair. No Wilson, no St. Maximin, no Almiron. Their attack is looking very weak at the minute. Obviously, we saw at the weekend failed to score as well. So I think Emi Martinez, he's king of bonus points. I think that's quite a safe option in goal.
Well, Kendall, I've worked with this guy so many times, and I know sometimes it just triggers someone. So Newcastle, Martinez captain against Newcastle.
I'm quite realistic.
No,
I know
it does. I feel like this is my differential will be from Newcastle. So you feel that's okay? They'll keep a clean sheet against you guys?
Oh yeah, I can't see where our goal threat's coming from. Like obviously, if you watch the game at the weekend, not that anyone would choose to watch Newcastle versus West Brom, but yeah, we just have no attacking threat at the moment at all. And Joe Linton can't literally hit a barn door with a beach ball. So, it's like, what's the point? There is just nothing. I feel like I just don't even want to talk about Newcastle anymore. Like, genuinely, I'm so tired of it. I'm just so depressed after finding out yesterday that we paid Sheffield Wednesday $6.5 million for Steve Bruce. I'm finished. Just end the season now. just go off the club. I'm sick. I'm tired.
I'm tipping Newcastle this week. I hope there's no picture on screen, right?
No.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to get Mings then, if that's the case. I'm getting Mings, Targets in, and Martinez. But no, I feel like Newcastle will score this week. So my captain will probably be. It's very hard, as Ben said. So many difficult fixtures this week. So probably just keep it on Sterling as well, again, because he's going to start this week, but he's been very disappointing every time. He doesn't get himself in the right positions. That's the problem every time. And he misses a lot of one-on-one chances. It's you think, Kendall, you're depressed about Newcastle, try owning Sterling as your captain. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. So yeah, gem of the week time, gem of the week, Josh. Who's your gem of the week? Which player that is owned less than 5% you're going to tip this week?
Less than 5. You've thrown me off guard because I ain't got one ready, to be honest. I'll try and think of one pretty quick.
Okay, I'll go fast.
All right, go on.
I'll go first. You've said Wilson is injured. You said so many different players are injured. Is Carroll fit, Kendall?
Carroll is fit, but it's probably unlikely he's going to start.
I'm going with my guts. I feel like Steve Bruce. This is the week. Carroll doesn't need to start. He only needs 10 minutes to get a goal. So Carroll, for me, this week is my differential. He'll get a goal against Aston Villa this week. From a corner or free kick, I'm going with Andy Carroll. That is my differential for the week. I would have gone.
I don't even know what differential means, so I'm just going to go along with you.
Differential
basically
means the player. Basically means the players that are not owned by a lot of people, like Andy Carroll. Probably no one has Andy Carroll.
Probably no one has Andy Carroll. Why would you have Andy Carroll? Like, probably no one has Joe Linton. Why would you have Joe Linton? See, like, you just wouldn't. Like, what point is he actually going to get? I genuinely don't know. Although, to be honest, the last game he was actually our best player. I'm not even going to lie. Him and Joe Willock, funnily enough. So.
Yeah, I thought Ben was depressed with Reading in the Championship. Wow. meet Kendall, the Newcastle.
Oh, well, we'll be there soon, so it's all right. I've got more reason to be depressed. It's fine.
Everything will be well. Newcastle will survive and Reading will be promoted and we all will be happy. Everyone will be happy. Josh will probably finish in the top when we'll win the Europa League and everyone will be happy. Ben, you have any ready?
Yeah, I've got one. I've got one ready. So my differential pick of the week is going to an Everton player, and it's Gylfi Sigurdsson. He is at 1.9% owned, 6.8 million, so he's quite cheap. Burnley haven't looked too great defensively. Even against Arsenal, I thought they should have maybe conceded one or two more than they did. Sigurdsson's off the back of 3 attacking returns in the last 4 games, so he's in a good bit of form on set pieces. And his set piece delivery is exceptional as well. So, yeah, I'll go with Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Okay, Josh?
Yeah, I've got one now. I'm going to opt for Southampton's Shea Adams, 5.8 million. No Danny Ings in that team. He scored in both the last 2 games against Man City tonight. And also, he probably nearly had the second one against City tonight. He was just offside. Scored a great goal against Sheffield United. It looks like quite in form. And they have Brighton, Burnley, West Brom and Crystal Palace in their next 4. Arguably not really a better fixture run for them. So really nice player, 5.8 million as well, less than 5% owned. I think I actually may even get him in after game week 30 for my team.
Awesome. So since Kendall said she doesn't have one, I'm going to pick one for you. And I know you don't like this player very much, but it's going to be Jeff Hendrick, another Newcastle player. Listen, Newcastle this week with Aston Villa, I can see that 2-1 win or a 2-2 draw. So Jeff Hendrick and Carroll to score the goals this week. I swear to God,
Jeff
if I actually get
this is God's honest truth against West Brom, right? I watched the match, and this is on my life, right? Did not know he was playing because I didn't see the lineup because I was busy, and then I quickly went to my granddad's to watch the game like I always do. And I did not know he was playing until he came off. That's like the actual genuine truth. I was like, since when was Jeff Hendrick on? Like, when did he come on? And my brother was like, started. I was like, no way.
Now, this is the week you'll know he's playing. I know he got a goal in the beginning of the season, I think, against West Ham away from home. He will get another one this week. And I swear to God, if I get these 2 players.
Our current fit top goal scorer.
Hey, another goal adding. Wow. He's going to add another goal this week, and he's going to add another goal this weekend. He'll be now with 3 or 4 goals now. So yeah. So last questions as usual. Ben, I'll start with you. 3 players that will definitely score this week.
So my 3 players to score this week, I'm gonna go with. Oh, it's a tough one this week. I'm gonna go Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm going to go Kevin De Bruyne and Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Josh? Harry Kane. Shame on you again. Josh?
I'm going Harry Kane, Aubameyang and Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes. Hey, Kane has scored 11 goals against us. He's 1 away from breaking the record, Rooney's record of most goals against Arsenal. So yeah, I can see it happening as well. Kendall, 3 players that you think will score this weekend? I think I love the fixtures at the bottom right now. Oh, in the screen right now.
So Kane and Alba would be my 2. And then I think probably a Leicester player, but depends who's fit. Iheanacho?
No way.
Yeah. Definitely Kelechi and
Iheanacho will definitely this agenda score. Again.
No, he always scores.
Because they play Sheffield United, so I'm kind of like, and he scored in the last 2 games. So I just think maybe
you're not wrong.
It's just our Twitter feed blows up anytime he does anything because of Glen.
She's very right. You say you don't know much about FPL. I think you know better than these guys. Like, clearly, if you're tipping Iheanacho, you clearly know more.
Because I just base my FPL on real life, and it doesn't really work like that. Like, it does, but you have to have some form. You have to have some form of skill around it, which I don't. I literally still don't know what half of it means. Because obviously, as I say, it's my first season playing it. So I genuinely just go off what I think, and it's working out all right so far. So yeah.
You learn a lot of things every single time. I've learned from FPL graduates. They've learned that this guy is a very good player as well. Iheanacho. Thank you for that super chat, City. I really appreciate it. So for me, who's the 3rd player, Kendall? You said Iheanacho.
I said Iheanacho, Kane, and I said Aubameyang as well, because they would be my 3 that I think will probably definitely score.
Okay, I'm going to go for Saka. I'm going to go for Jamal Lascelles of Newcastle as well. Just trying
So
to
you
make
said
Kendall happy. She's
Hendrick.
been
Who
really
was it?
impressive.
Hendrick, Carroll, and Lascelles. What? So it's going to be 3-0. Bloody hell! If that's 3-0 against Aston Villa,
That is a bit
no one will see
optimistic.
me again. No one will see me again because I'll just be on set.
I mean, they'll get a goal. It's gonna be 2 or 3-1 to those guys, and then probably Sterling, and then Gabriel Jesus. Those are my 3. And then last question: a team that will definitely keep a clean sheet, Kendall.
Oh, a clean sheet. Leicester.
Leicester. Shiv, I definitely agree. Kelechi Iheanacho, I definitely agree with that. Josh, which team will definitely keep a clean sheet?
Without a doubt, Aston Villa.
Aston Villa against Newcastle. Shame on you again. Ben, absolutely no respect.
I'm definitely going to keep away from the Aston Villa Newcastle sort of controversy.
Yeah.
I'll go for my clean sheet. We'll go Wolves as a clean sheet this week
against Liverpool.
Oof.
And I'll go for it.
You feel like that?
Why not?
Well,
Why not? Why not be controversial?
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys making time for this. Josh, where can they follow you and Ben? You're literally everywhere, aren't you? Like, before you even say like these 3 people on screen right now, every time I log in into Twitch, into YouTube, into Twitter, they're everywhere. Kendall is in every stream. Josh and Ben are everywhere on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok, literally. So
I'm not as bad now. I used to be on a lot, but now I've just got like my solid ones. I'm all right. I'm not too everywhere all the time now.
Yeah, that's cool. You no longer go to 200 podcasts, you go to 195. Great. Josh, where can they follow you and Ben?
Yeah, FPL Graduates, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, pretty much everywhere, as Glenn says.
Yeah, exactly. Ben, you want to add to that so that you can make it certain that you're everywhere?
Yeah, I'd like to start the movement and the petition for Glenn to start a TikTok account. That's all I say.
TikTok. Yeah, that picture on screen is for you again, Ben. Kendall, for you.
Yeah, it's Kendall Rowan on obviously all socials, YouTube as well. You can find me over at the Football Terrace, where I present and host, and that's the same thing. But you'll just find me on various Newcastle United streams if you care about it, which you probably don't if you're not a Newcastle fan, because we are trash. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. 3, you know what, 4-1. There'll also be a Joe Linton goal just to make you happy. So yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate you. Thank you everyone for watching. You can join the Everything Arsenal FPL League. Make sure you follow Kendall at Kendall Rowan X, and you follow at FPL Graduates. I can't wait for Newcastle to get some goals on Friday. I'll be tagging you a lot, you guys, on Friday. Just expect that. So thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.